New York State DC. I'm out of the Oval office. We also have a couple. Dan Welk is the private lands forester. He's in the green shirt. He deals with the Knight and Herkimer counties. Glenn Roberts is in the back as well. He's also from the Louisville office, and we kind of deal with Lewis and Jefferson counties. We kind of come to these different areas. So again, I want to thank you guys for coming, and I want to introduce our three speakers. If you want to come up this way for me for a minute, so that everybody's going to turn around. And while they're coming up, if anybody needs ISA credits, we do have ISA credits for the workshop. Those will be available at the end on a sign-up sheet that you can do for that. And I also would like to thank the CNY Conservancy for hosting us here today and for setting up everything. We appreciate that. This workshop is part of what we call Releaf. Releaf is an organization of volunteers, and it's part of the Urban Forestry Council. It's all kind of tied together. So if anybody's not familiar with the group and would like some additional information, feel free to grab one of the DC foresters and we'll be happy to talk to you about it. Basically, there's a lot of volunteers, and actually all three speakers here also volunteer in that group as well. And we basically try to work with communities to encourage urban forestry and proper tree planting, proper maintenance of the trees, and do these different workshops along the way. And they also do an annual conference, which has a lot of great information. If you're looking for information on urban forestry, it's a good spot to go. With that being said, I'd like to introduce Terry, who volunteers with the CNY Conservancy. He also owns his own consulting Arborist company, and he'll be giving some information along the way. We have Jeff, who works for New York State Electric and Gas, NYSEG, and he'll be talking. And if you got any issues with underwire trees and stuff, he was talking about earlier. He's been doing that for the last month, so I'm sure he wants to continue to talk about that. So
we'll give you his phone number.
I'll give you the phone number at the end. But and then we have Mike Mahanna, who also volunteers with the CNY Conservancy. He also has his own consulting arborist firm as well. So with that being said, I will pass it over to Terry. Mike first.
Yeah, first. Mike's teed up first.
Mike's teed up first, so we'll pass it over to Mike, and then we'll take a break after Mike's presentation, and then Terry will go through some information, and then hopefully by then the sun will be out. We'll see. And then Jessica will take us outside and do a little demo, and then we'll go from there. And we'll have some time for some questions after the presentation, so if there's anything that comes up, let us know. So, thank you guys.
Very good. Like Paul, Mike's teeing it up first, you're going to get it down in the fairway stuff. I don't have to play out of the rough.
Okay, first I'm just going to do a little shameless plug for the Conservancy, just so you guys know a little bit about our organization. So the Parks Conservancy was born about 11 years ago by a woman who lived on the Parkway, and she had no family, but wanted to do something good for the city when she passed. So she left all of her money that she had when she passed to the Conservancy to start this organization. And with that, we have done we promote healthy, sustainable green spaces. We maintain all the monuments on the Parkway. We pay $100,000 a year to have planted, maintain trees in the park. A lot of people think that the city of Utica does that, but that's actually our organization that does it. And we operate mainly on the interest from the endowment that she had started and from private donations.
Did you say $100,000?
$100,000 a year.
Wow.
Some years more. And because the city's parks budget is about $48,000, and they can't afford to take care of the parks at a level that they should be maintained at. So that's where the Conservancy comes in. So all these green spaces that you see, those are parks that are owned by the city of Utica. We have the largest acreage of parks, only second to Central Park in New York City, in the state of New York. So you can see that's a lot for them to take care of. The parks were a donation from the Proctor brothers, They donated the land, and then they hired Frederick Law Olmsted Jr. Senior was his father. He was the first landscape architect in history, and he designed the Emerald Necklace in Boston, the Conservancy Parks in Buffalo, and Central Parks in New York City. So we're kind of privileged to have him design them. And that's the old lily pond. And that's Terry and I don't know how that picture got in there. But, so we have Roscoe Conklin Park, which is on the Parkway, with a pavilion. I'm just going to run through this presentation, just give you a quick overview. Valley View Golf Course is part of it. So Robert Trent Golf Course. He's a nationally and internationally recognized golf course designer. The Utica Zoo is part of that. We did an Arbor Day event at the zoo a couple of years ago. The Eagle Monument, that's also part of the park system. And along with 15 monuments that we maintain on the parkway. There's just a few of them to show you. And F.T. Proctor Park is one of the big parks. This lily pond was literally buried. This was covered over with dirt about 20 years ago. Another parks organization that has now folded uncovered this lily pond, and then the Conservancy brought it back to life. These are pictures of the past. We're trying to get a grant to bring this area back to restore it to its original form. This is T.R. Proctor Park, mainly for athletic events. I don't know if anyone saw the news. The Cal Ripken Foundation and the Sal Long Foundation has donated $1 million to build an artificial turf field in that park. Because most of our immigrants that are coming in, soccer is their national sport. So that field will be welcome and used. We restored the Statue of Liberty Monument 2 years ago, brought it back to its original form. We're restoring the bridges over Starch Factory Creek. That was through a grant that we received. And we donated dwarf apple trees for the One World Flower Festival for their urban garden. Then our big event is Arbor Day. We get 5 tree care companies to donate a day's worth of service in the parks and take down hazard trees. The first 2 years, that's all we did was take down hazard trees. Literally dead trees that were growing over roadways, over picnic tables. So, and that's about $45,000 worth of in-kind service that's donated to the city on that one day. They're just some of the companies that show up and do the work. So, and we're very happy to have them. We've planted over 150 trees on Arbor Day, and we'll talk about some of that stuff. There's a Master Gardener volunteer who helped on Arbor Day, and some ROTC students from Notre Dame High School. All right, that's my spiel on parks. Thanks for listening.